Hello again, and welcome to another build, the Back to the Future DeLorean. This is issue number 59, and this is the parts kit. It looks small, but this is actually going to be an enormous build. We're going to be securing the cabin to the inside of the car, and I think essentially completing phase 2 of this build. So the first steps are to finish building out the rear bulkhead, at which point I'll bring in the car, we'll attach the bulkhead to the car, or rather to the cabin, and then I'll bring the car in and we'll attach the cabin to the car. There's a lot of wiring on this one. It's going to take a little while. I'm going to try to edit this down a little bit, make it a little smoother for everybody, but go ahead and get started. Okay, so step one is to take this little hose piece, this guy here, and this is flexible, with both a right angle top and a straight bottom, and we're going to pass that underneath this gold piece and attach to the top and bottom. Well, actually, I guess just to the top. The bottom's going to attach on the rest of the car. Okay, so it's going to look like that. Next, we're going to take a couple of little brackets, little purple brackets that are in here. There's two of these tiny, tiny little purple eyelets, and they are going to go on a couple of places on a black hose, and I believe they're going to go on the long one. Yeah, so there's two pieces of hose. A long hose and a short hose, and these brackets are going on the long hose to start with. So we're going about an inch in from the end, and the second bracket is just going over the end with nothing in particular securing them, and then these are going to punch down right underneath the Christmas tree. Very loosely, with essentially nothing holding them in place. I don't know about that. I don't think they take screws. So next we're going to take the short hose and the fan, and we're going to attach that. The which way is up. On the back of the fan there's a little pin. That pin is on the downside when it's installed, on the lower side. And then, yeah, so this is going to go on the bulkhead, using that pin and two screw holes for alignment. And it's going to be secured with two AP screws. So that's going to hold the fan on like that. Next, we're going to take the same hose, we're going to route it to the pin underneath the flux capacitor, the one closer to the fan. Like that. Following that, we're going to take the other long piece of hose that we've put on here and route it to the other pin on the fan. Then we're going to take a minute to find a part I just lost and maybe glue them in. Okay, so now that all of the hoses are in place and I've added a little bit of glue to the purple parts, it should look something like that. Next, we're going to be attaching some more LEDs behind the Christmas tree. So we have this twin LED cable. It's a single cable with two LEDs, and it is number 15. The LEDs go in the holes behind the Christmas tree, and it gets secured with one of these little plastic tabs that I love so much, and an AP screw. So like I say, these two LEDs go in these two openings. Very gently get their leads bent over. So on the back we have two LEDs, the clip and the cable. From here we do need to bring in the cabin so that we can secure all this. So the bulkhead, of course, is going to go across the back here. That one elasticy cord is their first. I've ruined it. Minor issue. I'm going to attempt to re-glue. Well, I'm not going to attempt to re-glue. The glue is trying to melt those pieces, so I'm going to just ignore that and hope for the best. So, this elastic bit... No, I'm wrong. The elastic bit stays out for now. It's actually this hose right here that they want to attach. Somehow. Okay, with a great deal of effort, that's secure, and I'm sorry that I had to do it off camera, but I was going to lose my mind. And I need to get a couple of these cables out of the back here now without disconnecting anything. Okay, so this, if I can do it without sitting on any cables, it's going to sit down on the back of all this stuff and get secured. And this is all going to be secured with FP screws. Also, there's a plastic vent hose that needs to get secured while this is happening. And it just kind of fits into an opening. And then it's going to get a screw to hold it all together too. So I just have to make sure that stays aligned while I'm doing these other screws. And if those purple pieces come undone now, I'm never getting them back in. Okay, the last FP screw is going to go and secure that hose piece I was just talking about. I believe that's going to be the last FP. And that gives us an attached bulkhead. Now the next horrible thing I have to do is go through, well, this isn't so horrible. The next step they want me to do is the wiring a handful of these pins on the back. So first they want me to take 16 and put it before 17. And then they want me to take 15 and put it before 16. That makes sense. Then they want me to take the big old rainbow connector and get it across everything and into the switch panel, matching up the R and the F as best as possible. Okay, so that is a wiring block more together on the back there. Now we go to the really arduous task of plugging in all these stupid pieces on the front. So the first is that flexible hose, this guy here, and that's just going to secure next to the fire extinguisher. Yeah, so I ended up grabbing a drill bit and actually making the hole a little bit bigger. That's how much of a pain that was. So, yeah. This whole part is going to be like this, unfortunately. So now I got to take this cluster of wires right here and get them into the block right here. The colorful one goes on top, the two little ones go in the middle, and the biggest one goes on the bottom. Okay, so that's that cable block done up here. Next, we're going to do this one over here. This one, largest goes on the bottom, then the multicolor, then the two little ones. And it has been suggested that after I do all this, I may be able to pick up some of the slack that runs along the walls of the car here. I'm going to take a look at that. Okay, so that's that wiring block. For some reason now they want me to find number 19 on the back here and plug that in. I don't know which one number 19 is. 19 and 22? Oh, I think these are coming off the car body. So, I'm going to take a pause here real quick and see if I can do anything to maybe change the way these cables work. So they're not quite as lumped out like they are. Yes, I was correct. So the next several connectors are on the car chassis itself, because of course that's where we're at. So 19 and 22 are these two outer ones here. I'm trying to keep everything straight. I have the little connectors from the alternate power supply taped down up here because I don't intend to use them at the moment. If I come back and do modifications later, I guess I may. So I'm trying to figure out how to position all of this to be able to actually do this work. So 19 and 22. Really wish these were all much longer cables. 19 goes there. 22 goes on there. Now they want me to find 23 and 6. Okay, 23. Six. Okay, so that's 6. Six. So I'm up through 7. I need 8. That's 10. That's 9. 8. That's 10. Where's 9? It's 9 here. We got 10. 11. Okay, I have to apologize. I got all the wiring hooked up and then I secured the car cabin to the chassis off camera. I didn't think that amount of crying and screaming would really be appropriate for this. Suffice to say, it's 4 screws at the corners, DM screws. They're not too bad to put in. The tricky part is getting everything in place without covering up all the screws. And I now understand the issue with the steering column. It just isn't quite a long enough hook. And when I get that replacement one, I will make the decision about whether I actually want to try swapping that part out. I think the answer is going to be no. I think I'm just going to live with the steering wheel not actually turning the wheels, because right now it hooks in, but it pops right out. You can get it to turn a little bit the moment you put any torque on it. It pops right out. So the last thing to do today is to take this little brackety piece here and actually put that over the steering column, so it goes under this bundle of wires. Probably helps if you do it the right way. Under the bundle of wires, there's a screw hole, and there's this one up here, and I'm gonna have to adjust this a little bit still. Okay, so with the bracket in place, again, had to do it off camera because the fit is not right for this. This steering column isn't right, so there's a lot of levering on this to make it stay in place. Probably does actually turn the wheels a little better now. But yeah, still basically pops out once it gets too far off center. It does pop back in because of the pressure this is putting on it. So I guess it could be worse. But that is the build for this week, and holy cow, it's 2/3 of a car. It just needs the outer body, and that's what we're going to be starting on next week. So if you want to catch that, subscribe so you see when it comes up. You can get a notification if you click on the little notification button. You can check out this playlist for any episodes you might have missed, and have a good one, guys.